Welcome back guys to this new video Tech Express. Let's take a look into how we can get started by building a call center knowledge base with Document360. So whether you are trying to organize it or you just wanted to build an efficient call center knowledge base using Document360, let's see how we can get started and empower your agents with the information they needed. So first of all, let's sign up and to log in into Document360. I'll leave you guys a link down below in the description so we can all get started totally for free and having an actual 14-day trial. Totally for free, guys. So now that you have signed in, you might be asking to create your very first project. So into the first project, what you wanted to do is to choose new project and check out how it actually looks to your actual project. If I go directly into my settings, what I can do is to get started by adding the colors of my actual site, which is changing the favicon. I can change the site logo, the custom URL, the brand colors, the font family for my actual articles. Let's say for example something like this, the overlay layout typed. Now I'm gonna hit into save and let's getting started with configuring the project settings. So let's configure the project settings. So first of all, let's go and focus into the project dashboard. You can focus into the left part where you can see the documentation. Here directly into the documentation, what you can do is to check out different customizing of the logo color schemes, and branding elements should be done directly into the dashboard. But here what I wanted to do is to first of all define our structure, which is once again click into documentation, and on here you can click into the left hand menu to organize elements. So what we can do is to have categories. Let's say for example product information, troubleshooting, FAQ, call scripts, and company policy, for example. So all of that should be added here into all our articles. So to start with our actual folder, first of all, what we do is to add our very first article. So let's focus here into all articles. So I'm going to choose the option that says category, and here into this category what we can do is to add everything about the product information. So the next category here, we don't have an actual category, so in this case I'm going to just focus into the folder and create this. Now here into product information, what I can do is to add my very first article. So let's add our very first content here. So click into add a category, and as you can see we now have our very first category. Now let's add an article inside this category. So let's start with some key articles that your agents frequently uses. For example, here if you have product information, let's go for add and go for new article. So usually everybody does, for example, for the very first time, let's go for product overview, right? And now the category should be product information. And let's hit now into create. Now as you can see, my article should be created automatically inside the categories. So we can use the rich text editor to format our content and include images, videos, and links where necessary. So I'm going to just copy and paste a few information about my product overview, just an example. So then later on what I want to be doing here is to edit and format all the content that I have just pasted here. Now that I have just added all my information, you should see here into the right part how it's actually going to be looking your actual descriptive information. In this case, what I'm going to be doing here is to, of course, edit, for example, the title. If I focus only into the very first line, which is getting started with Document360, I'm going to choose the heading number 2 and check out how it actually changes the edition of my document. So I'm going to select this subtext and let's go for H3. And so on and on and on. So what I'm going to be doing here is just to edit the elements as I am just editing my stuff to them. And now that I've finished, what you wanted to do is to make sure that you have just edited all the element information about it. So in this case, what I'm going to be doing here is just to make sure that I added all the information below. I think that I needed to add, let's say for example, like a warning, a few images, even like a table. So what I can do here in this case, let's say for example here into getting started, I'm going to add the image of the logo of my store. So I'm going to go for insert the image. Just as an example, I'm going to add this really easy. I'm going to hit into OK and check out how big it is. So here have the height. I can change it for 150 for example. And I can do exactly the same thing with the width. And there we go. Now it actually looks really great so far. I can add much more stuff, for example, like an error message. So here I can do, your title goes here. I can just go for warning. Let's go for read before doing stuff, something like that. And of course, make sure this one comes below the actual text, otherwise it's just going to be copying and paste all of this information. So as you're using all of this, you might be checking out that all the elements that you use here, for example the line into CTRL1, for example like this, should be added automatically. We can add errors, private nodes, LaTeX, we can add content to reused, a code blocked, even an actual video or a full glossary if this is the very first part of it. So we can utilize templates, of course, if you wanted to save some time and focus into the content host. And lastly, of course, incorporate multimedia. All of this should be added here into the opera, so we can insert images, tables, and here I can add even like a video. I'm gonna head into my dashboard. I'm gonna head into my teams, and here everybody who is inside my team can check out all the articles that I have created and published it. And of course, we can set up the access controls. So in here, what you can do is not only who can choose to view, we can choose who is going to be checking out, edit our knowledge base by setting up access controls. We can make certain articles or categories public, private, or restricted to specific user groups depending on what you're actually trying to look for. This is particularly useful for sensitive information that should only be accessible for certain team members. If you wanted to check out more articles, you wanted to do something, for example the indexed or GitHub for example, and add it here the category. So in this case, let's go for glossary and create it. So as you are adding more and more categories, you're going to be adding more and more articles, and you're going to be getting all the information about your call center. So lastly, you can do and publish and maintain. Once your articles are ready, you can publish them to make them accessible to your call center agents. So regularly want to update the content to keep it current with new products, updates, and of course more policy changes, guys. So this one is actually great for application to get started and adding more than just a knowledge base and working with all your colleagues into one application. So that, guys, is a grab up or guide on building and call center knowledge base with Document360. This is a well-maintained knowledge base and is invaluable resource for your call center, guys. If you found this video helpful, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to TechExpress for more tech tutorials and tips. Have any questions or suggestions, you can drop them into the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully we can all see you next time.